Hello, friends. Today I'm out in the woods in Jacksonville, Oregon at my cabin, and I love practicing out in nature, in the trees, in the fresh air. And so I want to share with you Standing Joint Freeing Series. So this is a practice that can be done anytime, anywhere, and it just takes a few minutes and feels really wonderful on the body. So we're going to just begin with a hip distanced stance, feet parallel. So look down and see if you can get your toes pointing forward. And if that puts any torque on your knee, then it's okay to let them relax a little bit, but we want to try to go for parallel as much as possible. So we're just going to begin with a little grounding. So I invite you to close your eyes along with me as I take a moment just to begin to bring my awareness to my surroundings. Hearing the sounds, smells, feeling the air, movement of the air on your skin. And then shift your awareness to noticing the weight of your body and where it feels in your feet. So you might notice it more into the front part of your feet or the back part of your feet. So what we want to do is first just notice where it goes naturally, and then see if we can shift so that it's equally distributed between the bone under the big toe, bone under the baby toe, and center of the heel. So we can feel the foot like a tripod and feel the stability that comes with equal distribution of weight across the surface of the feet. Let the toes be nice and relaxed. And we're just going to take a few long, calm breaths to ground ourselves. Feeling the spine elongate up toward the sky as we breathe in. And feeling the weight of the body sink down into the feet, and the feet sink down into the earth as we breathe out. Feel the body getting heavier and heavier with each exhalation. And then gently open the eyes and come back into your surroundings. Just notice the beauty all around you as you've brought your mind back into the present moment by connecting with sensation in the body and the breath. So now we'll shift our weight to your right side. And then we're going to take the left toes and point them down. Place the hands on the hips. And we're going to rotate that ankle, either with toes down, or if you want to work on balancing a little bit, you can take the toes off and just go in circles with the foot. So we're just mobilizing through the ankle joints. So moving the joints in this way helps to bring nutrients in the form of synovial fluid, and it also helps to strengthen and stretch the muscles that surround and support the joints. And then step back down onto that foot, shift weight into the opposite side, and toes down. Adjust the bent knee hip. Make sure you haven't elevated that hip, and then rotate the ankle, either toes down or toes off as you prefer. And notice you might get a little snap, crackle, popping at the ankle joint. That's not anything to be concerned about. Just be mindful as you move through these rotations to stay within your range of motion. And especially be careful if you have any injuries or challenges with any particular joint. So next, knees. And on this one, I want you to be really careful. We're going to take the hands to the thighs, and we're just going to slightly bend the knees and then swing them to the side and straighten them and go to the other side. So this movement comes from QiGong. And so we just want to make those circles as big or as small as is comfortable. And especially if you have knee issues, go very small or even just visualize. And then we're going to pause and go in the opposite direction. You'll notice you're rolling kind of across the surfaces of your feet from side to side as you do this. And next to the hips. And this is more of a pelvis rotation hula hoop kind of movement. So you're going to just swing them to the side and bring it forward, and the other side and back. So this provides rotation of the top of the femur bone inside the hip socket, and it also helps to provide a little bit of release for tension in the low back, and you'll feel that as you do it. So this one I like to do a little longer. And the knees are soft, but again, it's more like a hula hoop movement rather than a belly dance kind of movement. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. And you can make the movement, again, as big or as small as is comfortable for your body, right? So we always want to be mindful of just staying within the just right place for us. Feel the muscles of the back as the hips move forward, they begin to release. And then we'll find the lower ribs, and we're just going to kind of slide side to side. So on this one, it's more of a horizontal slide than a bend. So we just want to kind of reach with the lower ribs to one side and the other, and just be mindful of any pull in the low back. So you might begin to feel a particular muscle called quadratus lumborum that attaches to the lower rib cage and the four lumbar vertebrae and the top of the pelvis. So we want to be mindful to be gentle with that muscle. And then you're going to take the lower ribs forward and back. And try not to overarch the low back as you move the ribs forward. So it's just a slight lift and over and back. And then we're going to see if we can circle the low ribs. This is a challenging movement, so don't feel frustrated if it doesn't come easy to you. A little bit of time and practice is all it takes. This is not a movement that we do in our daily life, but it's wonderful for stretching the intercostal muscles and the obliques. And then let's move into the shoulders, just reaching up and back and down with each shoulder one at a time. And this kind of reminds me of doing the backstroke, swimming, leading with the elbow, and really feeling that nice stretch across the front of the chest where we get so much tension from all the forward bending we do in our daily life. And then we're going to interlace the fingers, and we're just going to let the wrist roll in circles away from the body, just mobilizing the wrist joints here. So our wrists have lots of use nowadays with all the devices that we handle, texting and so forth. And so we want to just give them a little bit of rotation to help to keep the energy flowing nicely through that joint. And I like to finish with just a twist, like you're opening and closing a doorknob, and then shake the whole arm out. So next we'll move into the rotator cuff and the shoulders. So on this one, if you have rotator cuff issues, I want you to use your arms in a straight elbow position where you're just going to externally rotate by bringing the thumbs and back and palms up to the sky, and internally rotate by bringing the thumbs down and back of the hands toward the earth. Otherwise, if you have no challenges with the shoulders, then you can bring the elbows to shoulder height with palms forward. And we want to make sure that we can see our arms in a peripheral vision. So we don't want to be back here, but a little bit forward, and then set the shoulders into proper alignment by drawing them down and back and in. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath in and exhale, float the palms down. Feel the muscles in the back of the arm. Inhale up. And exhale, lower. we'll do that a few more times. Keeping the shoulders in good alignment. And then lower the arms down and shake arms out. And then we'll finish with the neck, doing a simple movement where we're going to draw this symbol called the infinity symbol with looks like a number 8 lying on its side with our nose. So I want you to imagine that you have a paintbrush on the tip of your nose as you do this, and it might help to close your eyes and visualize that. So you're going to just drop that paintbrush down and across the right and up, and then back down through center and across the left and up, and just gently move through this pattern several times. Feel how each direction you go provides a stretch for different parts of the neck. And then come back to center. Just take a moment as you complete and before you open your eyes, just to feel the effects of the practice on your body, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck. And then we'll just finish by providing a little rotation for the spine, just turning the body from side to side, letting the arms just fly and land. Rotation is wonderful for detoxification organs such as the liver and kidneys. And it's also great for the discs and the muscles that surround the spine. And then slowly come back to center. And let's finish with the flowing motion. So we'll take a deep, slow breath in as we bring the arms up to shoulder height, slightly lifting the heels, and then exhale, float the hands down and plant the balls of the feet into the earth as you lift the toes. And inhale, float up. And exhale, ground. And one more time. And lower. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Namaste.